All right. In today's video, I'm going to review this property here that is not in Florida. This one is in Tennessee. And I want to make this video of a property in Tennessee to show you that even when it comes to commercial real estate, specifically retail properties, you can more or less make a decision on a property based on income, demographics, the way the leases are drawn, neighbors, that kind of thing. So, like, if, for example, if this deal made sense and I was able to pull comps for it or whatnot, I would not be afraid of purchasing this property. But this property here, when you look at it right away, you've got some notable tenants like Starbucks, your Combo Cookies. Can't really see these logos or tenants over here, but right away, Starbucks with a drive-through. When it comes to multi-tenant retail strip centers, I mean, that's as good as it gets. When you've got a Starbucks that has a drive-through, you're in the money. That's a really good opportunity. Looking at this right away, a few things I noticed is a bunch of green back here, which means it's probably a bit of an undeveloped area. There's a billboard here, so I'd want to know if that billboard is included with this property or not. I see a pretty small ingress egress, and since it's so small, I would hope that there's maybe another one, or perhaps the in and out here, you can go both directions. Like, you can actually turn right if you're exiting or turn left if you're exiting. I don't like seeing all this tire debris. That just makes it look kind of trashy. Um, Looks like the parking lot might need to be repaved, soon enough here. Pretty cool that there's a little bit of outdoor seating there, which again is a big bonus because let's just say you got to think worst case scenario if Starbucks ever moved out, you've got a outdoor patio space that a tenant can pay extra for. Like, let's say if Starbucks is paying $50 a square feet per square foot for rent, you could charge like $10 here, $15 a square foot, and people will pay it too. They will definitely pay it. You've got dental, nails. You got a vacancy here. That's a big one. So let's see what that looks like in the rent roll. What else you got here? Some more pictures, drive through. I mean, it's a nice property. 6.2 million, year one NOI is 476, 7.62 cap rate, which for Starbucks, that's unheard of right now in Q4 2023. You've got a little over 2.5 acres, built in 2019, which is great. And let's keep moving on here. Again, just more photos, unless you know what the area is like. Here's when you start getting into some details. One access point, which means you can't go left, can't go right. It doesn't look like it. Improvements, zoning, parking. You've got 57 parking spaces. Parking ratio 3.87 per 1,000, which is on the lower side. Three per thousand is like the basic average. Like, you got to have at least that. Once you dip under 3 per 1,000, that means if you've got 1,000 square feet, you got to have 3 parking spaces. 2,000 square feet, 6 parking spaces, etc. 3 per 1,000 is the bare minimum. That's just enough. 4 per 1,000 is where it gets better, and 5 per 1,000 is excellent. So, 3.87 is on the lower side. I don't like that too much. Demographics, 1 mile. When you're under 10,000 people within a mile, that's going to be very light. Not really a big fan of that. You want to be in the 10,000 or plus within 1 mile if possible. Now, there are other things too. Sometimes you're in a very exclusive high-end area. Like, for example, those who are in Orlando, let's say there's Ellsworth or something. Your demographics, the population count is going to be low, but that's because every house is a mansion, and Tiger Woods doesn't want neighbors, right? So, it's one of those things. If the population is under 10,000, you're on the lighter side. And then the thing is too, how do we know this area is not an Ellsworth, right? There's certain things we can look at and we're going to know. Bojangles and Hardee's, these guys are not going to open up in an Ellsworth, Tiger Woods type neighborhood. That's just not their demographic. They want areas that are cheaper rent, people who like fast food. There's demographics. I mean, there's some places where this is demographics. This has nothing to do with political stuff or whatever. But there are. I've seen Popeyes and Church's demographics, and they want to be around African American crowds, right? Because that's their target audience. Kind of like an Asian grocery store. They're going to want to be in an area where there's just a ton of Asian people. Moving on here, we've got Walmart's next door. I saw that earlier. I forgot to mention it. Walmart's next door, which is great. I take it back. There's an access point here, And then there's also an access point over here, which is more not, I mean, not so much an access. It's an access point, but really it's not to get out into the big road here. It's to get over to Walmart. So, being a neighbor to Walmart is always a big deal, because most of the time Walmart own their real estate. And if Walmart owns their real estate, that means that they're always going to be a constant drive for traffic, and businesses that are here, they love that. They love that because they've always got a constant flow of customers. Looking on the aerial map, let me see here. What's interesting is that right now this is our property here, right? The one we're looking at, the shops at East Bernard. Our Walmart is a neighborhood center. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but it's a neighborhood center. Up here is the Walmart Supercenter. So this area, I mean, right away when you're looking at all the other tenants, you already know that this is where the party's at. But right away you see Walmart Supercenter here, Walmart Neighborhood Center there. So yes, Walmart is good, but being a supercenter, I mean, this is where you want to be. Okay, especially with Home Depot, Lowe's, Bed Bath Beyond. I mean, all these big box, T-Max, TJ Maxx, all these big boxes up here tell me that the demographics up here are going to be better. And you can kind of almost see it too. Like, you see all this green down here in the map. That shows that's very sparse, right? Look at all this green. It's very sparse. But up here, when you go more up north, look at how more developed it is. You see a lot more neighborhoods on the northern side of the screen here. Okay. So right away, I mean, let me just take a moment and say that, yeah, so far, I don't really like this market too much. I'd rather pay a little bit more money, and get a little less of a return to be up here on the northern side of the map. What else we got here, guys? We've got, what does, household income? Yeah, these people over here, they make some pretty decent money. $100,000 for a household income it's not bad. Here's the actual site plan that will show you ingress, egress, the access points here. See here, they didn't even include it as an access point, but there's an access point here where you can get over to Walmart. Every space of the building is kind of the same, roughly. You've got the end caps are a little bigger. Starbucks is 2,000 square feet. The dental is 3,000 square feet. And you see that they're corporate. Oh gosh, I just realized something. So PT Solutions, which is, where was that at? PT Solutions, which is this tenant right here, the one in the blue. You can't really see in the photo, but they're right there. That's a dark space, and there's a vacancy there. So wow, you've got some problems. Definitely has some problems. See, lease pending, meaning that they've got one coming on the way. They probably got a signed LOI, working through a lease. This year they've got a dark 2,100 square feet physical therapy space. Now, see, here's the thing. Before I even dig into cash flow, I don't mind it being dark, but show me no income. Make sure there's no income showing for 106. If they add an income there, I don't like that too much. Lease pending, I'm okay with them showing income there. That means that they've got money coming. But a dark space there, that's no buenos. But let's see what they did. PT Solutions, currently dark but paying rent. Okay, that's an asterisk. That's a maybe. That just means that they've gotten to December 26th, so you've got about 3 years left before they stop paying rent. So you basically have 3 years to look for a new tenant. I'm okay with that. I'm going to take that back. I could live with that. I could definitely live with that. Vacant, built-out wireless, 1 year, and triple net credits. That means that the owner here is wanting to give you, the buyer, this $48,000 plus CAM at closing. So let's say they might give you $60,000 at closing, and that's to give you. That's going to give you money in order to float that space until you find a new tenant. It's a pro and con. Depends on how you want to look at it. The owner, in his case, he's giving you $60,000, but we're going to work off the NOI only. Okay, $48,000. The cap rate was like 7.5% or something. That $48,000 translates to $640,000 in value. So what that means is that, let's say if that place was vacant and there was no value there, that place was vacant, no income, no nothing, and then you found a tenant to take it and you filled them in, that $48,000 per month or $4,000 per month that they're paying is worth $640,000 in the purchase price. The owner is smart, where he's like, hey, I'll give you $50,000 or $60,000 for a $640,000 purchase price. That's a 10x on my return, no problem. But as a buyer, if you were looking for stabilized property, low risk, low return, you would just take it and move on, right? You know, okay, that's fine, I'll take it. But the buyer who's looking for a value add, someone who is more or less a little more on the aggressive side, looking to add value, you would want to say, hey, you know what, give me no income. I'd rather take the price reduction. But the landlord seems savvy enough here. He'd rather just give you the money or find another buyer, you know. So here, yeah, just some more stuff. Oh, the billboard is included at $1,000 per month. Looks like they've got a bit of a long-term lease here to 2061. Jeez, that's out there. Yeah, billboard leases go for a long time. I've seen them for 50 years, 90 years. Yeah, this year they've got another, looks like 50 years or so, or 48, whatever. Um, Starbucks early termination. I do not like early terminations. If gross sales are less than $1 million during the fifth term. This kind of term is, it just basically means if Starbucks makes less than $1 million in that location during the fifth year of the lease, they have the right to cancel the lease. So even though, how long is their lease? They signed shows here that their lease ends. Where is it? They signed a, call it 10 or 11-year lease. But in 6 years, so call it in 6 years from when they signed it. So they signed it in 2019. In 2025, they have the right to cancel it. And yeah, that's I would take that bet, you know, because Starbucks is a good tenant. They're going to be good for a few years. If they have to move out, it's a good space. I wouldn't have a problem releasing it. But here's the challenge, though. I'll tell you exactly what the challenge is. Look at this, okay? Dental 33, Pure Nails 30. Sushi 31, 32, 32, 32, 43. You see that? Starbucks is paying like $10 more per square foot base than everyone else, which you're gonna have a hard time filling that up. So what I would do in this case is that, and if you have questions about this, just let me know. I'll walk you through it. I would adjust this 43 to, let's just call it 32, and then make an offer based on the 32 rate. That's going to adjust your NOI a lot. That's going to shave $10 a foot off of everything, which is $140,000, right? It's going to remove $140,000 from the NOI, and it's going to produce a new sales price based on the cap rate 7.5%. I would do that and say, hey, look, Starbucks is paying an inflated rate. I don't want to give you, a price based on it. I got to make some adjustments, blah blah blah, and I would buy that way. I've seen that happen before, and it works. But yeah, this landlord knows what he was doing. He was giving Starbucks an extra 10. He must have given them like more free rent or more TI or something in order to get that extra, $10 a square foot in rent, and that translates to a much higher sales price. But moving on here. All right, expenses. I'm not gonna dig into this too much for now. I'll do another video on that. But some of the first things that I think that you should realize is that there is no vacancy in here, which I don't like. Normally you'll see a 5% vacancy in here. So in this case, it'd be like $25,000 or something, or $22,000. There should be a vacancy in here because the lender is going to add it in. The lender is going to add in a vacancy of 5% plus minus to make sure it can cash flow with that vacancy. And that vacancy is really just a cushion to say, hey, in case there are unexpected expenses, there's some room in there. You're not just at the top of the mountain with this number, and then if you get hit with something that's a surprise, you're gonna be in the red. So yeah, that's gonna be important. Let me see here: property tax, insurance, CAM management, lease up costs. You see, they got some lease up costs here for that vacancy. You see, they actually don't. Now that I think about it, this is only lease up costs for the one true vacancy that the seller is crediting. They have it here. Wait, no, they're missing the physical therapy. See, if you look back at physical therapy, where is their lease at? Physical therapy, their lease ends in 2026, right? Oh, okay, 2027. And that's right. 2000. Where is it at? Sorry, guys. Oh, all right. Sorry. All right, here we go. Sorry. All right, here we go. I'll stop moving the mouse. Physical therapy. You'll see that at suite number 106, physical therapy, they have. This is what I was looking for. I was coming back here. Their lease ends in 2000. 27, I believe, but they didn't add the leasing and capital costs in 2028. Because they didn't do that, yeah, see, I don't like that. That's you'd have to add that. You see, a lot of times these cash flow things, you have to dig in and catch those types of things. If physical therapy is already dark, that means they're not going to renew in the end of 2027, meaning that in 2028, I'm going to have more lease up costs. So let's just say these numbers are accurate, 7,500 and 18,000. Those numbers should also be here. These numbers are to help pay for the current vacancy that's already there. But you got to have it over here as well because physical therapy is not going to renew because they're dark. So you're going to have that cost there too. So let's say if you were to buy this, you'd want to make sure you're going to get that return. You're going to want to get that credited at closing. Um, and that's really it. I mean, I kind of went through everything already. Some other things here: triple net plus 10% admin fee on CAM. 10% admin fee is always kind of nice. Let's say CAM's $10 a foot. The building size was, I think it was 14,000 square feet. That's an extra. Wait. I'm sorry. If CAM is $10 a foot, 140,000 a year, right? And then CAM is 10% of CAM. So, I'm sorry. The not 10. The admin fee is 10% of CAM. So that means $1,400 you can charge on top of the $14,000 in order to pay the landlord, more or less an asset management fee. You know, that's something that the way people look at it. Tenants cover that cost. Looky here, right? They're already starting to kind of review their true colors. $32 per square foot and market rent, and why are Starbucks at 42 or 43? So right away you can use this to your advantage in order to make an offer. Um, Tenant improvement rates, capital costs not included, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, that's how you analyze a property. Now, the way I analyze this property is the same way I would analyze a property if it was down the street for me. This one's obviously in Tennessee. So even though the properties may be in different markets, you can still look at the demographics the same way that I did and get a pretty good handle on what you're working with. Okay. So I hope that video was helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know.